Do we have any questions? The screen? Well, it really protects me from people who aren't thinking. In other words, someone could not walk up to me this way. And as you notice, there were a couple of people on either side. I want my wife there because if anything should happen, what's a man without his wife, you know? She's my protector. There are, human nature being what it is, you want to make sure that you take every normal precaution you can. In the world we live in today. So the screen really kind of protects anyone coming upon you without knowing where they can come. I heard on the tape that the council wanted the individuals to come closer. Where did they come to, Dave?
Right where
Here? That's good. Some of you who are really sensitive probably felt vibrations or the auric field of the council because they really kind of encapsulate the whole situation. We've had a number of people that have described what they've seen in Dalton, and I thought it was pretty interesting. Yes?
I'm interested in the breathing that you do in order to get into this state of raised consciousness. And I know that there is this Dr. Stanislav who uses in psychotherapy what he calls existential therapy. He uses this holotropic, I think it's called breathing. It's very, very deep, intense breathing, accompanied by music, in order to clear the board and to clear the emotional blocks or conflicts within the self, the unconscious. And I wondered whether or not the council, would approve of this sort of thing for the, let's say, the average person.
I think the breathing that I do, now this is according to the medical doctors. I mean, I'm not a doctor and I'm not an expert. They simply verified, the doctors actually verified what the council had told us earlier, although we never said anything about it to anybody. But according to the doctors, the hyperventilation changes the blood chemistry by, I forget now whether it's introducing an excess amount of oxygen into the system or something. Yeah, and that causes then a grand mal seizure or a seizure similar to that. And in most seizures, if you know anything about epileptic fits or epilepsy, basically what happens is the electrical mechanism of the brain misfires. And so somehow or another with my particular system, the hyperventilation triggers this seizure. And in that confused, electrical short-circuiting, the council then can snap on to the electrical system of the brain. Now, we could go into some detail just how they do it, because they've explained it to us. Really, your brain works purely on electricity. Although it's a low grade of electricity, it signals through an electrical process the motivation of the entire body. And so what the council has done is they latch in there and utilize the vocal cords and the whole system necessary to communicate. When they do that, it suspends that seizure. In other words, it cuts right in at some place, and the seizure then no longer can complete itself. So what you have is, now this is my personal description, they insert like a buffer zone between that short circuiting. They utilize that to say what they want to complete the trance, and then when they're finished, they withdraw, and then the seizure completes itself, the cycle, and I come out of it. They say it's necessary in order to suspend all knowledge and all coloration. It's very interesting. I need no proof of that. Because when this started, at that age in life, which was not very young, I was considered an illiterate. I could not read, truly. I had been smart enough, and I had enough psychic abilities that I could sense things, so I didn't have to read everything. Yet, I managed to be able to turn words into hieroglyphic symbols. In other words, an example, the word cat, C-A-T. I have no idea how you get the word cat from those 3 letters. Even today, I have absolutely no idea. How does those 3 letters tell you to make the sound cat? I don't know. So when all this started, I was a very devout Catholic. I was a Eucharistic minister. I was a CCD teacher. I was real happy. I'd gone through all this before, and I decided to leave it because I wanted a traditional life. I also am basically an introvert. But I found out that I can overcome a lot of things if I so choose to. Now, am I the exception? No, you can do the same thing I did. You can do it a darn sight better because you're a lot more intelligent than I am.